A very good afternoon and welcome to a double bill of tennis on Eurosport this afternoon. We start with the final of the Mallorcan Open with me, David Mercer, and Mark Petchey. Carlos Moya, the reigning French Open champion, against last year's French Open champion Gustavo Kuerten. And after this, Simon Reed and Fru McMillan will be your commentary team for the final of Toulouse. Greg Rosetsky up against Jan Simmerink. But it's the clay first before the indoors. And what an intriguing final. I mean, the organisers couldn't have wished, Mark, for a better final than the local man Moya against the man he replaced as the French Open champion.
No, absolutely not, David. This is a superb final for the sponsors, for the people that have organised the tournament, and everyone in Mallorca who obviously look upon Carlos Moya as a superstar there after his French Open win this year, defeating Alex Kuerten. It's a superb final. Moya himself owns a flat only 100 yards away from the centre court here, and he said the only bad thing about playing this tournament this week is that he's been eating too much of his mum's home cooking, so it doesn't seem to have hurt him too much on the court though.
Indeed not. The one thing that has hurt him is that as we look at some of the tournament organisers, Jared Sobian on the right, the only thing that may have hurt him is that these two men have met 3 times before, and the Brazilian Kuerten has won all 3. They first met in a challenger, Graz in Austria in '96. That was on clay, 6-3, love 6, 7-6. Then they met in the Davis Cup as we look at Carlos Moya's route through earlier this year. And Moya led by 2 sets to love, but Kuerten won the last 3, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4. And then they met in the semi-finals in Stuttgart just a couple of months ago, 7-6, 6-4 to Kuerten. So Moya with plenty to prove, but of course he will have the support of his fanatical home fans. Gustavo Kuerten, well, he's already beaten 2 French Open champions, so why not make it a hat-trick?
He's in superb form, there's no question about that. After his win against Thomas Muster, he looked very comfortable at the end.
Moya to serve, best of 3 sets. Today for a first prize of $66,400. Runner-up $39,300. Carlos Moya could have been going for much greater riches in the Grand Slam Cup, but opted out of that to play in his hometown tournament. Plus, we understand there was an incentive of a very considerable guarantee to play.
30 love.
Net cord, seeing the conversion of the bull ring. Balearic Coliseum, it's known as.
Good first serve there from Moya. He's got a deceptively good first serve. It's very easy. If you watch his action, he doesn't seem to be putting that much into it, but he gets a lot of pace.
And a very confident start indeed for the number 1 seed, playing the number 8 seed. Moya opens with a love service game. Carlos Moya, incidentally, as a result of reaching this final, has guaranteed himself a place at the ATP Tour World Championship in Hanover in November. 4 men have now definitely qualified: Sampras, Rafter, Rios and Moya. And Moya will also almost certainly move up to number 4 in the world rankings tomorrow. Oh, something's getting at them.
Right behind their chair as well. You can see everyone's looking up.
Brave men.
Very brave, especially in the ball ring. Carlos Moya has proved himself on other surfaces apart from clay court, only clay court tennis. And last year he also qualified for the ATP finals. He had a fantastic victory over Pete Sampras in the first round in his group there. So this guy can play on any surface. He's got a superb head on his shoulders. He's very relaxed about his tennis, as is Gustavo Kuerten. So it should be a good match-up today.
And that ace is Kuerten's 14th of the tournament. Moya serves 16. Two 22-year-olds. In fact, Moya is just 14 days the older. 27th of August, 76 he was born, and Gustavo on the 10th of September that year.
Depth of that return that set up the point for Carlos Moya there. He's got a big forehand. He loves to get the off forehand out to Kuerten's backhand, but that time he hit a big forehand cross court. Kuerten could just put it back mid court. He was dictating the point from there.
And really great points.
15-40.
Spanish, who actually, of course, won that Davis Cup tie in Brazil, felt they had a bit of a rough time. Kuerten was given a rough time when he played in Barcelona immediately afterwards.
There's no doubt that Kuerten's got the mental edge on this match. After beating someone 3 times, you always feel very comfortable coming into the match that you're going to win it.
Iguales. 10.
Both these players have very good first serves. It's something that's quite deceptive on a clay court because obviously you don't get as many aces or as many big first serves, but they're very tough to return.
It's wide. With 2 titles to his name this year. Monte Carlo and the French Open. Kuerten with the 1 win this year in Stuttgart. Carol Kuchera in the final. Well, I thought my second serves were pretty bad, but that takes the biscuit.
Well, that may be an early sign of nerves. Obviously, Moya being the crowd favourite, they're going to try and put off Kuerten as much as they possibly can while still being fair.
Moya takes advantage of his 3rd break point and off to the ideal start, a 2-love lead.
Moya gana 2-0. Moya leads 2-0.
I think one of the features of the match you're going to see today is Moya. He's going to be standing right round his backhand side, trying to hit that big forehand off forehand and try and dictate the points of that. You're going to have to see Kuerten stepping up the court, trying to hit his favourite shot, the backhand down the line, to open up the court at the opposite end. And there you see a classic example of that Moya off forehand. It's a really big weapon on the tour.
15.
Yet to win a point against the Moya serve. Moya, of course, was semi-finalist at the US Open, losing to Philippoussis. An overrule from Carlos Ramos in the chair. There's the battle, the backhand against the forehand.
That's what's going to be today. It's a lovely backhand down the line here from Kuerten. Got Moya right out of position, and he stepped in and let rip with that one.
Shot we see more and more, isn't it? The drive volley.
Probably Agassi's trademark, apart from his double-handed backhand down the line, is the drive volley. And this was a tough shot as well. It was below the height of the net. I think Moya was a little undecided how to play it to start with, and he had a great shot.
Break at the end of the game.
Singles really gone well for Carlos Moya at the start of this final. The man from Mallorca leads by 3 games to love.
Moya leads 3-0.
Always conduct a mass utilization model before crossing the street.
Just because everyone else participates in a maximized global bundling format doesn't mean you should.
Don't go outside with wet hair. You could catch a case of involuntary international corporate right-sizing.
Always wear clean underwear. You never know when you'll be hit by a paradigm shift.
I've been an engineer for Porsche for 26 years. We're looking for perfection, such an elusive goal. Yet, we see it all around us. It's the basis for being successful. The search for perfection needs support from partners. And one of these partners is Mobile. All Porsche engines are developed with Mobile One. And we tell owners to keep on using it. I think we have found with Mobile an excellent partner.
Well, we left it with Gustavo Kuerten, love 3 down. He managed to hold serve in the next game, surviving 3 break points. That was 3-1. Moya's held for 4-1. That's where we rejoin the action. Kuerten serving 1-4 down in the opening set.
See Moya there, didn't hit one backhand. Kuerten a good second serve, kicked second serve, it kicked to his left, but Moya still managed to get around it. This guy's got great footwork. It's something that perhaps when you're watching him you don't really notice, but he really moves around the court very well. Very smooth and very fluid. That's a lovely feel from Moya. Again, the return though, it was so deep, a lot of spin on it. Got Kuerten on the back foot there. Saw how far Kuerten was behind the baseline, and that was a lovely disguise though. It's a good service action from Kuerten. It's very loose, and he gets a lot of snap at the top of the swing.
Slightly surprising thing I always feel, given the number of Spaniards there are in the top 100, they only have 2 tournaments on the ATP Tour, this and Barcelona.
They have a lot of lower tournaments though, that get the players up into playing the Tour though.
There's virtually a satellite every week in Spain, isn't it, because they've got the weather for it?
They have got the weather, but they play about 8 to 9 months of satellites and future events now, and then you've got quite a few challenges, and then you get up onto the Tour. There's so many clay court tournaments for these players to play though. They don't need to have that many tournaments in Spain now.
4-2.
Kuerten there getting some Moya's backhand. Moya just likes to hit that backhand deep with a lot of spin on it. Doesn't like to be doing too much attacking on it. It's basically just a rallying shot. If he has to pass on it though, it's a very good shot.
Very similar in a percentage of points won behind the first serve this week. Moya at 73, Kuerten at 74. Kuerten getting more first serves in, 61%, as opposed to Moya's 54. There's a classic case of attacking the strengths to open up the weakness.
Yeah, absolutely right, David. It was a great forehand again, cross court here. And then he's got this one down the line. It's the depth again that beats Moya. It's not the pace. Moya had to run sideways and backwards to get to it, so he had no weight going into the shot at all, and all he could do was try and slice it over.
So a golden opportunity now for Gustavo Kuerten to break back.
Moya was too far behind the baseline to hit this shot, and he actually hit it very well, but it just goes to show, even if you hit a good drop shot from too far behind the baseline, doesn't matter where the opponent is, they're still going to be able to run it down. And someone as good as Kuerten is going to make you pay for a drop shot like that.
Moya now will be ruining those 3 chances he had for the double break. Now we're back on serve, although Moya does still lead. 4 games to 3 in the opening set.
Okay, radio silence. The boss will send a message if necessary.
Wider screen for longer messages. Alcatel One Touch Pocket, be a touch ahead.
This is one of of a kind. This is a very sensitive environment. I'm an environmental biologist and I work for Mobil. When oil is found in a place like Newfoundland, you have to be careful because the sea, the wildlife, but also this culture is very unique, rich in traditions. It takes a lot of communication between Mobil, our partners, and the community. When the Hibernia platform was towed up, it's a great day here. I'm really proud about the homework that Mobil has done. We work very hard to make sure that we are welcome guests in this country.
Why risk nicks and cuts? Now there's the cool skin from Fili Shave. A gentle squeeze, and out comes a creamy shaving emulsion that results in a wet shave, quite unlike any you've experienced before. The new cool skin from Fili Shave.
Let's rejoin the action now with Kuerten serving for a second time to stay in the set at 5-6. No breaks since we left it at 4-3, but Moya's had chances. Break point to lead 5-3 and then 2 set points when Kuerten was serving at 4-5. Now 5-6.
Good serves from Kuerten there. It's always tougher to close out the set when you've had some chances like that. Haven't put him away straight away. Kuerten feels like he's been given a second life and looking like he's trying to take it here.
Yep, there's that backhand down the line.
He just loves that shot. He just moves so well to it. Perfectly set. Racket back early. Steps in. He's making that 99 times out of 100.
Certainly it'll be Kuerten who feels the more positive going into the tie-break, not least because he's won both of the tie-breaks that these two men have played before.
Absolutely, but here we go. Classic case again of Kuerten going to Moya's forehand to open up his backhand. Great forehand there and an easy backhand to set up the breaker. Psychologically, I always find the first point of a tiebreaker so important. Moya will feel good that he's got off to a one-love start here. He's got 2 cracks at the Kuerten serve. And if you look at statistically, I think it's something like 60% of tiebreaks are won by the person who wins the first point. So Moya will be happy he won that point. Wasn't a great return from Kuerten. Very cheap at the beginning of a tiebreak.
Almost too careful.
He was. It was a difficult shot. Moya gave him no pace, hit it very low over the net. And Kuerten could also see Moya was already running into the net. So he had to hit a very good shot there. Knew it had to be very close to the net. Just tried to be a little bit too careful with it.
Called it out. No protest from Kuerten, and Moya the clinch this time.
This was a big point. Kuerten should have won both these last 2 points and suddenly finds himself 3-love down in the tiebreak. Moya 2 serves to come. I think it'd be really ruining that missed volley.
from Moya to stay in the point.
Well, he's defending very well, isn't he, up the other end of the court. Kuerten's hitting a very heavy ball today. It's making Moya run all over the court, but as we can see, he moves so well on the court. It's getting the ball back, making Kuerten have to keep hitting that one extra shot. However, in that rally, Kuerten was just a little bit too good. And the big serve coming to Moya's rescue there. Panting pretty hard. He's had 3 tough points in a row there. He got a nice quick one. Get his mind set to have another crack at the Kuerten serve.
But beginning to feel a bit like the bull does towards the end of a fight in this bull ring. Really awkward bounces, just caught the inside of the service line and flew.
Shot off the line. You see Moya, who was set to play it, and suddenly found it was about 3 foot further away from his body than he expected. But if you notice how easily Kuerten put away that mid-court ball, all these clay courses can just do that. They get good depth, good placement, very safe with that shot. And it's just routine for them to put that away. You don't ever drop the ball short against these guys.
2-4.
That's great hitting from Kuerten. You can see that Moya's a little bit undecided about where Kuerten's going to be hitting it. He's kind of starting to run to his forehand to cover that, and Kuerten kept going to his backhand there, and eventually Moya got caught off balance, a bit flat-footed at the back there. He was covering his forehand on that last one, and just another great shot from Kuerten. He's dictating all the points at the moment from the back of the court. Moya's really just hanging in there. But as we know in tennis so well, that big serve can get you out of trouble. And he's hit a couple in this tiebreaker just when he's needed them.
Rather like the set itself. The set, Moya was up 3 games to love, was pegged back, was up 3 points to love, and now we're back on serve.
That's a typical clay court point there. Both players hitting high topspin, heavy, high over the net, deep to the backhand, just waiting for the opportunity to try and move the other one around. And we've seen a number of points now recently where Kuerten is taking the upper hand in each point. There's that lovely flying backhand from Kuerten again. That really is a dangerous shot on the clay. Makes it look very easy, but he's going over the high part of the net. It's not an easy shot. Got to give it just that bit more height. And this is crunch time in this match right here. First set, 5-all in the tiebreak.
This time, the drop shot and the disguise was perfect.
It's a sign of a confident Carlos Moya there. That's a big point to play a drop shot on. Obviously feels comfortable on this shot. He's hit a couple of very good ones today, but you notice how much further he was up the court this time. He was almost halfway inside the court. Kuerten was behind the baseline. It's a much safer time to play it.
The third set point then for Carlos Moya. This time on his own serve, like Kuerten was serving at 4-5 in the set itself. Well, he had so many chances to win that set much earlier, but he'll be very, very happy to have won it in the end. Moya takes the tiebreak by 7 points to 5 and moves into a 1-set-to-love lead.
From the producers of Men in Black and the director of GoldenEye comes the epic adventure
I'm back.
of a legend reborn.
Zoro did what was needed. Now he's needed again.
Antonio Banderas, Anthony Hopkins, Catherine Zeta-Jones, the Mask of Zorro.
How does the world start its day? In Budapest, they breakfast on lemon tea, salami and peppers, and a concise update of the world's news. In Hong Kong, perhaps steam bun and congee with the key business and finance stories. Cappuccino, cornetti, and the world's sporting highlights are popular in Milan. And in Geneva, fresh juice, coffee, and a little charcuterie with the Asia-Pacific pages. Start your day with the International Herald Tribune, the world's daily newspaper.
Well, we'll pick up the action in the second set now. First set, of course, to Moya on the tie-break. It's Kuerten who leads 3-2 as we look at the statistics. They're on serve, Moya to serve. Moya having had a break point, 2 break points indeed in the third game and 1 in the fifth. There again, the drop shot played from behind the baseline, that little bit of extra time.
It was. That was all the difference. Kuerten only still just got it, but it was the difference. And that's the perfect reply. A little dink cross court. Moya's caught in no man's land there.
Sensational backhand, because Moya's shot had so much topspin. He was playing it at about shoulder height.
It was so high, wasn't it? I don't know how he generated so much pace on that Kuerten. Actually, you just saw a little reaction from there. I think he was a little bit surprised himself at how well that came off the racket. That is some tough shot. And Moya is a quick guy around the court and had no answer to that. Ball seemed to jump up a little bit higher than Carlos Moya expected there. The idea was right with it down the line, but he doesn't have the same power down the line that someone like Kuerten does. It's far more of a moving Kuerten around the court shot. It's not a winner. And you see there, just got up a little bit too high for him.
Break point. Yep. Well, Moya's had the chances in this set, but it's Kuerten who gets the break.
Kuerten here showing us that he can do the same on his forehand as he can on the backhand. That's a lovely off forehand from Kuerten there. Generated a lot of power in that game. His timing's coming, moving his feet well. Moya's going to have to try and peg him back here, change up his game plan a bit, maybe use the drop shot a little bit more.
Suddenly a whole stream of winners flowing from the racket of Kuerten. Time to turn around and decide where he was going to play the riposte of the lob.
I think Carlos Moya just wanted to get that over his head and thought it would be good enough, but it was, like you say, just way too easy, and Kuerten just got back, plenty of time. He looked round, saw Moya had followed it in, as you should with a lob. Just picked his spot cross court.
Kuerten's making this game look remarkably easy.
We're struggling to win a point here, and sometimes that's what happens on clay. You really feel it's difficult to win just a single point when the opponent gets the upper hand like this.
Love game then for Gustavo Kuerten. The Brazilian looks on course to level the match one set all.
Kuerten said that he likes the conditions here in Mallorca. They're hot and humid, just like back in his native Brazil. And you can see now he seems to have got into a rhythm here. And I also saw at the end of the first set, although Moya won it, you could see that Kuerten was starting to get the hang of how to play Moya again. And he moves him around the court so well. Moya spends most of his time, he's almost like on the end of a bit of string when Kuerten's hitting the ball and replying to what Kuerten's doing. Kuerten with his backhand down the line, he's opening up the backhand side of Moya. He's going to Moya's strength, which is the forehand, giving him the backhand, and Moya doesn't like it. And also he seems to be dropping the ball a little bit too short. Kuerten's able to step up the court and hit the big shots.
I think one of the nicest touches of this new tournament, one of only 2 new tournaments on the tour this year, has been those aircraft chairs. One of the sponsors provided them. I bet they're from business class, though.
They certainly look like business class seats to me. I travelled in economy for 10 years, and mine are about another 4 inches shorter on either side.
So the service statistics. Not a lot to choose between them, as you can see. Just the 3 double faults from Kuerten. But at the moment, he certainly looks on course to level the match. Moya serving 2-5, second set, having won the first.
Surprise tactics there from Kuerten. Took the second serve early, came in. I wasn't expecting that at all.
And he's not expecting rain. It's the one thing none of us have been planning for.
Well, that's a good thing about clay courts, though. If it doesn't rain too hard, you can carry on playing. The surface doesn't get slippery like it does on a hard court or on a grass court, and both these players will be adjusted to playing in the rain on clay. It happens quite a lot.
Yes, as long as the lines don't get too slippery. In fact, in many ways, it's the actual court itself is probably at its best when it's a little bit damp.
Well, you notice they water it after each set, so yeah, it does like water, the clay.
I suppose the one problem is the balls get a lot heavier.
That is true, which won't suit Gustavo Kuerten that much, because he's hitting the big winners at the moment. He'll like the dry balls. You see Moya there. He's trying to change his game plan, and he was trying to go for the big backhand down the line there. He likes to go for the rallying shot, move his opponent around to get the big forehand. He just overhit that one into the net.
First double fault of the match from Carlos Moya, and he gives his opponent set point.
Seems to be losing his way a bit here, Carlos Moya. Needs to get back his concentration. Just finding his sights on the other backhand that he missed earlier in the game. Stepped up the court beautifully to that one. Had a bit more room to hit it in though. You see Kuerten ran round his backhand to try and hit a forehand there. There's plenty of space down the line, and Moya took full advantage of it.
Nope, too much. Second set point.
It's a good drop shot from Kuerten here though. That was quite a tough volley. Moya had him stretching. Had the right idea, but just overhit it.
Well played, and Gustavo Kuerten, who was clinging on early in this set, snipping a total of 3 break points, really roars through it from 2-all, takes the set 6-2. It's 1-all.
Kuerten looks full of confidence now. He really has played well in the last few games. Forehand's working very well, his backhand as always is working well, and he took that set very easily. He's looking very comfortable out there. So much of this game is about confidence. Kuerten, having beaten Carlos Moya 3 times already, all 3 times on clay, believes he can win. And you can see it now. He's got himself back into this match, and all those other times will be flooding back. And I have to believe. Whereas Moya has got to find it from somewhere else now.
Just everything is working about the Kuerten game. The serve, the ground strokes, the drop shots. The body language of Moya is also interesting.
It is. When you're a tennis player and you start seeing a player start playing as well as this, and you're not playing that badly, it's pretty demoralizing out there, and that's exactly what's happening at the moment.
Love game for Gustavo Kuerten to get this final set underway. We'll take a break as Carlos Moya decides he's had quite enough of that racket.
It's the Road Cycling World Championships. Raw pedal power in Holland, with races for men and women, time trials and long distance, to sort out just who is #1 in '98. The World Road Cycling Championships from the Netherlands, from Tuesday, 14:15 CET, 1:15 UK, live on Eurosport.
The season has just finished. Who won the 1998 Formula 3000 International Championship? Nick Heidfeld, Juan Pablo Montoya, or Jason Watt? Each week, Eurosport gives you the chance to win this compact camera. And that's not all. Eurosport caps are also up for grabs. Call now, and good luck.
A huge game now for Carlos Moya. Remember, he's lost the last 5 from 2-all. They're serving love 1 final set.
We'll be thankful from an error from Kuerten's racket, because there's been few and far between in the last 5 games.
I think everyone's thankful that the rain didn't last too long, replaced by the sunshine.
It's a lovely wrong-footing shot from Kuerten there. He's hitting the ball so close to the lines. There's very little Moya can do about this. Unless Kuerten's level starts dropping a bit, that's the only way he's going to find a way back into this match.
Well, you had a good approach, and turn, and the ball flashes past you.
You just shrug your shoulders yet again, don't you? It's a great pass from Kuerten, high over the net. It's very difficult to get across, get your racket on it, and even if you do get your racket on it, you can't get any power on it from up there, and he's going to hit a pass on the next one.
A poor shot from Kuerten, a poor choice of shot.
It was, he definitely should have gone deep cross-court there, I think. He had plenty of time to hit this shot. Tried the clever one. Moya was up to it. He's not winning the point from there. Good return from Kuerten there, though. He changed it. He usually likes to go down the line on his backhand on the return. He went on the off backhand to Moya's forehand there and had the opening. Just overhit that forehand down the line, but it was the right idea.
Double.
And you've been struggling for games. You don't want to be throwing away game points like that. The crowd trying to gee him up there. This is a big game for both players.
Played superbly off the backhand wing for the last couple of days. Again, the slight off backhand. Kuerten with a point to win a 6th successive game.
the depth that Kuerten's keeping the majority of the time. It's not just the pace, but he's hitting it about a foot from the baseline all the time. There's nothing Moya can do to get into the point so that he can use his big forehand to start dictating.
Also very interesting there to see just how far back from the baseline Moya was when he was attempting that pass.
He was. Again, Kuerten got him wide on the forehand though, hit it very high over the net, so Moya couldn't attack it, he had to wait for it to come down. It was outside the tram lines. Kuerten saw his opportunity and hit another great length on the approach shot, moving Moya even further back.
No, just too good. And Kuerten moves up a break. He leads by 2 games to love in the third and final set, having now won 6 successive games. Great stuff from the Brazilian. Well, Gustavo Kuerten held on to that break and will rejoin the match with the Brazilians serving for the title, leading by 5 games to 3. It's almost arrogance out there now.
It is. Picked the right time to play the drop shot again though. He was halfway up the court. Moya's not sure what's coming here. Had the racket back, could have done anything, hits the drop shot, but then follows it in and covers it. If you want to know why this guy won the French Open in 1997, you can now see why. He's a phenomenal player. When he's on this sort of form, you think Carlos Moya is the current French Open champion. He's making them look a bit slow. So confident, he's even serving volleying now on the first serve. It's a good tactic on clay though, just to do it occasionally. Wasn't a bad volley. Moya's got some of the best passing shots in the game, and if you give him an opportunity like that, he's not going to miss it.
Attempting the big run round. Didn't work, and it's 2 championship points for Gustavo Kuerten. Enjoy people applauding first service faults.
They're not just applauding that one, David. They're cheering it.
Still match point though. Well, that's the best answer to the Whistlers. And Gustavo Kuerten, what a run he's had. He's beaten Sergi Bruguera, Thomas Muster and Carlos Moya, 3 French Open champions disposed of in a row, and he thoroughly deserves to be the first champion of the Mallorca Open, beating the hometown boy in the process.
Well, you can understand why Carlos Moya said at the beginning of the week, the last person he wants to meet in the final is Gustavo Kuerten. And on that sort of form, you can see why. Kuerten was just phenomenal in the last 2 sets. Hit the ball so deep with penetration. He was always making Carlos Moya off balance. He didn't know what to do. Moya started to change his game, but it was just too much pressure. And Kuerten, well, he's a class act on any surface now, and especially today. I mean, his forehand was working so well. We always talk about his backhand down the line, but his forehand was working well. The big serve was working well, and it's never easy to beat the hometown favourite, especially in front of a hostile crowd like that. But he played well and fully deserved his victory.
Yes, the Brazilians didn't have too much to sing and chant about at the end of Soccer's World Cup this summer, but plenty to applaud here. So don't forget, coming up, Greg Rosetsky going for his second title of the year against Jan Simmerink, the man who beat him at the US Open. Simon Reed and Fru McMillan will be your commentary team for that. It's been great having Mark Petchey, former British Davis Cup player, of course, who will be joining us quite regularly in future. On the team for the last couple of days. I'm heading off to Basel, where Greg Rosetsky defends his title at the Swiss indoors against the likes of Rafter, Philippoussis, Henman, Becker and Agassi. That all starts on Tuesday. I'll see you then. But for now, from Mark Petchey and myself, David Mercer, bye-bye.